everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me? This is the live transmission, the first time broadcasting for the Tom Guide. I think that you're smiling too, but you're waiting for the first participants. It would be similar like on the Heygo. Just we walking to the main market square, Eastern Market on the way. Oh, the longest tram in Kraków passing me. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Just waiting for the first joiners. You know, just I planned the live streaming just very spontaneous as always. I think we could do the same style like on the Heygo. At first, the little information, what is the Heygo? That was the platform, British platform that now collapsed and no more exists. There were over 1,160 followers and subscribers of my channel. Just I came back to the YouTube, and on the YouTube I want to keep the same tradition. It's the same live streaming tradition with the walking and talking. Look at this. Now we walking. Oh, Vita, welcome first members. Please write any comments. You see the beautiful blue sky. Temperature is very fresh. It's about the plus 5 degrees Celsius. Wind chill factor is always chilly. As we got the now after time changing, still brightness after 6 p.m. is the still beautiful sky. Okay, please. Okay, just I see there's a such coming. Always with the communication with your interaction. I don't see the comments. Maybe later. Oh. Nitz is coming. Nitz, we say old friends. That's why there's a welcome again. And you could see how colorful is the Krakow main market square. We're walking to the most magic center of Kraków, the third biggest market square in Europe after Rome and Venice. Rynek Główny. That's just the colorful Kraków. You see, it's the little chilly. Today, for instance, two Segway groups. And that was very well, but you know, there were two double collapse. The company that I work for, catering, like a Mr. Sandwich, Pan Kanapka, collapsed. And the second information, the Heygo company, British company, I did the live streams. There was just for over 2 years, also collapsed. That's why it was the double double hit. But I hope everything fine with you. The best greetings to my Asian friends. You know, it's like a walk and talk tradition. But of course, on the way, I show you the most beautiful places on the Carmel Street. Look at this, the house under Spider. Very, very special building. Look at this on the left. That architect, Talowski, they studied in Vienna, and he used such historical style that they're putting the old artifacts or elements into the modern architecture. But he tried to make the historical style, and it looks like the pics also. There's just the such form, but at the top we see the spider, the most important. And I tell you the short legend, always the connecting, because the people watching then later, and then you could see at the top spider. Yes, you see the spider. According to the legend, the Polish king, there was the hide in the cave north of Kraków, and the Czech soldiers, they didn't realize that someone is inside of the cave, because the spider made the web at the entrance of the cave. And that's why there was the spider, like a good luck, the house under Spider. Look at this, that's just the most beautiful houses from at the turn of 19th and 20th century. Oh yes, but just, you know, this spontaneous observation on the way. But we still a gathering group. I think the more people on the live would be there. I appreciate any kind of the, you know, supporting. I've got now 5 supporters on the YouTube channel, tomguidekrakow. Very appreciate that I could pronounce the names. Krzysztof, Łukasz Zmarzły, Ingrid Kern, Anita Grzeszkiewicz, and Don Since. That's just an excellent group of sponsors. For them, I've got also special tours only for sponsors, but of course for my dear followers, they just decided to subscribe, and they put the bell with the information of the all tours. You will be also appreciated with the special tours, because as I said, the tours that I did twice or 3 times a week for Heygo, now I'm Heygoing now on the YouTube. Heygoing on the YouTube, it's mean the oh, super przechadzki. As again, the old friends. You say that I started YouTube channel with the such good friends, Nic, Przechadzki, Taxi Spychu. So that's just the Janusz Stefanczak. Oh, excellent. Don. Oh, yes. No, it's exactly now the live tour. Don, thank you, as I just pronounce you. That is the live stream tour on Heygo. You know, I'm just on the YouTube 2 years ago. I got across the such 1,000 subscribers, and now is the feasible that I do the same tours like on the Heygo live stream tour. This is the live just from Krakow. Look at this. It's the sunset. It's exactly after 6 p.m. And the former caserns of the Austrian army, there was even here the square with the roll call ground for the army. And now is the Krakow is getting green. There was the big parking, buses or so, and the place turning into a beautiful green park of Wisława Szymborska, Polish Nobel Prize person from the Polish literature. Look at this, the sunset golden hour on the Carmel monastery of the Carmelici, the Barfit brothers. That such church is situated on the former little island on the sand. Yes, 6 p.m. exactly. There's you are right, Nitz. And that was the such, we say, like a sandy time. Look at this. We've got here little Islam, or we say just the Arabic style, because here's the kebab, for instance. And we've got the also excellent the group of the Islam people, about the 300. Last time on my Facebook, I published you the photos from the Ramadan Karim. They are just the Thursday evening. They were just gathering. In Krakow there's no mosque. There's only in the basement house, exactly in that district, the Muslims. But look at this. I want to always show the variety of culture of Krakow. Here in the West District, Islam people. Krakow, of course, 100 churches, Catholics, and east side of Krakow, 7 synagogues, the Jewish quarter. Hello, Toby. Thanks for joining. Anyone from Heygo, please write on the comments. Don't ashamed. It's the same like Heygo. Write any comments. Also, I got also moderators. Don't worry. I always expected any comments that are just even improper. No problem. That is just, since 2016, I done the just YouTube channel. And now is the just main strong point. How have this drink? Wendy. Thank you. That's just if you posting the information about live stream, because the most beautiful parts coming up. We passing the Jagiellonian University, the Polish Krakow Oxford, or the Polish Oxford, the oldest university in Poland. Some new facts around the Copernicus monument, because I discovered some matters, and then we getting the most beautiful, market square in Europe. We would say one of the biggest in Europe. Hello. The Rynek Główny. Look at this. The people gathering on the tram stop on the Bagatela theater. We got the beautiful white and blue trams, like a blue sky. White, there's the flag of Krakow, white and blue. You see exactly the time. Look at this. There's the Krakow time. Exactly, I see 12 past 6 p.m. The white, it's mean neutral. Blue, the Vistula River. That's why there's the Piccadilly Circus that place. And here is the famous craft beer local downstairs that you could drink beer in the big pipes. That's just the Krakow craft beer, or just the restaurant. Oh, exactly here, CK Browar, CK Brewery. You see the double cross of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, and the date of the launching house 1996 is of course restoration of the house. And Franz Joseph, we say Stary Pierdoła, watching at us, that is just downstairs. You know, in Kraków there are a lot of locals. We're going there. That's to the most beautiful market square. Hello, hello, Gingsam. Big thanks for joining. We say hugs to all my Asian friends. You know, I'm just always eager joiner of your live streams. But now the company Heygo collapsed, and I'm going to do much more live streams on YouTube. And appreciate your sharing, likes, of course, comments, moderating. That's just essential to me. That's why I see 9 people on the chat in the house. 9 people in the house. Big thanks, Gingsam. All the best to you. And what I said, the consumption of beer in Krakow was huge. In the medieval, the average consumption was the 5-liter beer per day. But the pregnant wives shouldn't drink more than 3-liter beer per day, recommended by doctors. No coffee, no tea, water was polluted. We gave beer even to babies. There's just even Krakow patron saint, Saint Florian, extinguished fire with beer. That's just a fact. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Beth. You understand now what is the YouTube live stream. I'm not a fresh YouTuber. I did the tours many years even. But I appreciate especially sponsors of the channel. I've got 5 sponsors of the YouTube channel. Great sponsors. That is very important in such form. There's also a little motivation. And we're walking the oldest green park in Kraków, Planty. There is like a Krakow Wall Street. There were the former towers. 48 towers used to be. Look at this. They were such beautiful shape. There was such, for instance, rifleman. There was responsible for that tower. Other tower was called Messerschmitt Tower. They're making the knives. And look at this. In the sunset, the St. Anna Church, the Dutch architect Tilman von Gammeren, author. University Church, one of the 2 university churches in Kraków. Collegium Nowodworskiego, that's the just former Collegium Medicum on that part. And you see this Krakow Wall Street. You see the wall. Even I could walk, even that you see much better. That is the former old wall of Kraków. But interesting fact, why the wall was demolished. Look at this. Not in the war, Krakow wasn't destroyed in the First or Second World War, but the just decision of the local government. Just in 19th century, Krakowians didn't like strong wind, especially ladies. We know, with umbrellas, dresses is a big problem if the strong wind. And the wall was just demolished. Only north part of wall was protected. 5 towers were left. The Barbican, Florian's Gate. It is on the other tour. I'll show you the north side of the Royal Way. Krakow was the royal capital city for over 5 centuries, till 16th century. And now we are still secret capital city of Poland, over 1 million citizens in Krakow. Look at this. There's just a most enchanting main, rectorate of the Polish Oxford, the Jagiellonian University, the oldest university in Poland since 1364, the older than even the Vienna University. The 3 oldest faculties, law, medicine and free arts. And free arts, as the philosophy, studied Nicolaus Copernicus. Look at this. That monument wasn't destroyed by Germans. In the Second World War, they treated Copernicus as German astronomer. Look at this. That's just becoming closer. The monument was the very late put on that place. Nicolaus Copernicus, discoverer of the heliocentric theory, but the flat earthians theory was very, very long. That monument was created very late in 1900. So Wendy, hello Wendy, big thanks. So I see the good group of Heygoers is joining and trying to get back to life. As you see, I keep the hat of Heygo because it's easier for people, Heygoers, orientating who is who. And our company collapsed, but we try on the YouTube coordinating time. I know that for some people it's too early, for others too late. But on the Facebook, we are in the groups, and we could coordinating time of live streaming. And I see your important comments. That's why you see, like Copernicus discovered the new theory against the flat Earthians. That's also we try to get together on the YouTube. I see 19 people in the house in the professional language of YouTubers. 19 people in the house. It's mean 19 people watching me now properly, because I know that some people they watching on the way, but by the car, driving the car after work, sleepy, or no, that's just different time zone. I use from the Heygo. The people try to watch me even in the 2 a.m. early morning. I very appreciate Californians. So there's just very crazy situations. But jet lag is always a problem. And have a look. Here, the main building. There's the Collegium Novum, so-called, and we go walking direction, of course, the main market square. You see the students. Is the Pigeon Street, one of the oldest street in Kraków, in a nice sunshine. Of course, temperature is very fresh. It's about the plus 5 degrees Celsius, but you see no problem for students. The just part. That's the usually students of the art historians, archaeology, but the mainly liberal arts in the campus one. We've got altogether 8 universities and 10 high schools. That's why the faculties, they were called collegia. Collegium Novum on the right, Collegium Minus as the little college on the left. We've got such excellent describing the information about the such places in English and Polish, Collegium Minus, for instance, of the part. And that building over there, for instance, in the Collegium Polonicum, is the commemorating famous study student John Paul II, JP2. JP2 studied the Polish literature just before Second World War. I could show you that part. I think you've got a good quality of streaming. The technology is getting up and up. You see in Polish and Latin. Karol Wojtyła, JP2, John Paul II. If you know Latin, there's the just in Latin written famous student. But look at this, he had to finish the study that the Blitzkrieg started, Hitler invaded Poland. We look in the books, Krakowians, they love books. As till today, the students, they learn Polish literature in that building. And then let's go to the Jagiellonian Street. The name Jagiellonian, they came from the Jogailo, the Lithuanian king. He was about 40 and he married the 30 years younger girl, Polish queen Jadwiga. In that time, girls didn't have choice, and they started Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Krakow became the capital city, and the Poland spread from the Baltic Sea till the Black Sea. As you see, the beautiful, enjoy the blue sky, strolling people. Now there are much more students, no more the visitors than students. After COVID, there's the hybrid work, or say online. It became very popular. And that building on the left is one of the oldest buildings in Krakow, 1400. You see the such bay windows. That was the for lecturer. In that first floor was the just main assembly chamber. The students, only boys, had to learn, but he was the first brave female student, Miss Nawojka. Miss Nawojka, there was we say with Jewish origin girl. She dressed as the boy, and she studied medicine. She got even PhD for medicine, but there was the trouble. They realized she's not the boy, but the girl. And as the punishment was the decapitation. And by was mercy of rector, she became teacher to the nuns to the end of life. There's just, you see the blow of wind that I'm protecting you for the strong blows of wind. And behind me exactly the corner that Nicolaus Copernicus studied on researching of the solar system and discovered the solar theory. Look at this. He stopped the sun and moved the earth. He also discovered sandwich, pan kanapka, and then look at this. That's just a such part. That's the Collegium Maius as the Grand College, and we're staying in the former old Jewish street because that street and that district was the full of Jews in the medieval. Even that part, you see the white is the symbol like Polish flag, white and red. The white is older, red younger. The Jews were accused of the taking Christian babies for matzah, and that was the demolishing of the synagogue, and that part became the later part of university, the oldest university in Poland, the Jagiellonian University, the Krakow, Oxford was nested there. And exactly coincidence there studied Nicholas Copernicus. But look at this, here's Collegium Chemicum, and that's something that I didn't show you on the Heygoing because was always busy time. That is the Polish Nobel. Two professors, Professor Olszewski and Wróblewski, liquefied the oxygen. Today, liquefied gas, air conditioning, other discoveries we got because of them. Look at this. Here's in Latin again. If you know Latin, you could read that. Karol Olszewski, Zygmunt Wróblewski, professors of Jagiellonian University in 1883, liquefied the first in the world. Okay, I put the microphone out, and now you get the sound because the microphone was just something wrong with but I try to get the again. Don't worry. Look at this. We continuing the matters connecting. No problem. Oh, big thanks, Wendy. But now you get with wind little bit, but I try to connect. Look at this. Karol Olszewski. Yes. Now it's okay. Thank you, Beth. Just microphone is on one moment. And have a look. They liquefied the. Thank you, super chat. Thank you. Just I see your super chat. Very appreciate any sponsoring. And have a look. The two professors liquefied the oxygen, as I said, and there's the not Polish Nobel. Why? Oh, now it's getting. There's the sound is getting better. Is the special on the microphone lamp blue? If the blue, we could continue. That's why. Let's go to the market square. Just the. That's a special thing. But I keeping the microphone just close my mouth. That's just better for you. That's just connecting. Just even doesn't matter the gloves because I have to wear, gloves is so-called. And look at this. We getting the Anna Street, St. Anna Street. Delhi is the Indian food. Krakow is very, multicultural city of 400 different cuisine in Krakow waiting. Here's the beautiful bike rental. Just with the e-bikes and such classical Dutch bikes. Look at this interesting coat of arms. Is just the hell needs the saddle. That's like a logo of the place. Okay, we got a little trouble with them because it's the life. Life, it's mean that everything could happen. I learned from the Heygoing that even full frozen, I got that so big trouble. But Krakow is extremely safe. Look at this. Then no one wanted attacking me or so. That's such completely extremely friendly place. I've got the visitors from States and say Krakow is the one of the most safest cities now in Europe. That's why you should travel live. Look at this. There's that corner is always magic because you see the Krakow Pisa Tower, Leaning Tower of Krakow, the town hall tower. In one moment we're coming closer, and I show you there's like a little Italy. Because I tell you what's going on with Krakow tradition. Germans, they took to Krakow Gothic style, Italians, Renaissance, and French people, the classical style. That's why Krakow is the full mixture of the, like a patchwork. That's why this is completely, that's just a very special form. And we getting closer It does. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I do the feasible also for the photos. Is no problem. Is the golden hour, and try to take the so-called screenshot. The YouTube is only screenshot. Of course, everything permitted, no problem. But I try to get the nice corner that you've got the wind less and little bit best for the picture. Okay, we're trying to doing the like in the Heygo picture. Okay, picture. 3 to 1 is golden hour. Okay, and let's go to see the magic head. Is the modern art. They're showing Eros Bendato, the god of love. One moment, just the. No, just, just one moment. Oh, thank you. Okay, that's just the. Thank you for sharing information. Share your feelings, everything, no problem. 1,200 restaurants around in Kraków. Then, and of course, there are special heating system for some of them because it's too cold. But you're sitting in the such glass gardens and you enjoy the Krakow bread soup. Always the tourists asking me what is this. I'm today also for the fresh guided tour. You see that the birds is the old Slavic tradition of the appreciating the deaf people. The old Deaf Day in Poland, in the Slavic people, those are just in the Easter time, and they put the wooden birds on the trees or wooden eggs, commemorating the souls of their grandparents, also ancestors. That's the interesting, and the such pylon with the birds is just the put on the market square. Look at this, the most enchanting moment. Krakow Dorożka. Dorożka is called the horse-drawn carriage. 2 biological horses. And tourists, of course, just could enjoy such trips around the old town. Thank you, Fran. Welcome. I met some Heygoers in Kraków, like Laurel. We were just in the nice restaurant. That's why always you have to inform me about the coming to Kraków. But look at this. Oh, it's my friend with blue helmets, Arto. Hello, Arto. How are you? Okay. Arto again is just the friendly guy. Always just the Segway tours. Extremely safety tours. That's most important. Would say. Okay. Thank you. Bye. I give you just the view on the such classical sightseeing of Kraków. We want to pay the goal zero. No accidents anywhere if you take the Segway point or just the Kraków. That's just such extremely matter of the sightseeing. And here Eros Bendato. That is the special art of the Krakow student that emigrated to United States, and he gave the present to the the cities of culture, the European cities of culture. And look at this, inside is empty. Sometimes the children getting inside of the people after big party in Krakow, they're sleeping inside. There's some matter. Oh, look at this. That's just the. Oh, big thanks for the other side. All the best to you. All the best to Ukraine, for you friends. Olga, especially because she was so involved in the Heygo. That's why I think that's just getting better. You could share, of course, the links. No problem. That's just on the such chat. You could share links, everything that you got to give the feelings. And there was the place is the coincidence because modern art, God of Love, is on the place of execution of the, murderer and adulterer. That's just such form. But that rings that are interesting in the Krakow town hall. You see, left ring is the for ladies, right for gentlemen. That was just the punishment for the not brave citizens. They were chained there for 12 hours and. For what? For drunkenness, mispracticing, mis-selling, and also for wife if she didn't warm husband's bed in the evening. That's such interesting, funny thing I found. Yes, thank you. Oh, big thanks, Ingrid. Oh, that's just the big thanks. For, I pronounce your name as the sponsoring of my channel very long time. As the best greetings, and you could free ask anything on the chat as you see. We are just at the halfway on the live streaming. The big Eastern market that we're snooping a little bit, and the model of the former town hall. Have a look. so look the town hall till 19th century, and not war, not fire, but the decision of the mayor. The town hall was aging, and they decided to demolish the town hall, and they left the Krakow Pisa Tower. Take a postcard, as a just postcard moment, and the pictures, yes. You have to take the screenshot. Only screenshot is the such. I know that is the compare with Heygo is not so easy. But you could get the register that live stream. That is the gain compare with Heygo. That you could there is the register, and but you can screenshot. Yes, after the tour, that live is forever. You could watch again and again. The Tom Guide Krakow is still on the same. That's why I leave that live stream ever. That's why compared with Heygo, we've got a big gain. Look at this, the lions. Lions they were taking from the territory to the Ukraine, but in that time was the Polish palace close the Lviv, Lemberg, Leopolis, and the lions just they were put after Second World War. After Second World War was the big deportation of the Poles. The Poles they were relocating to the West territories, and the two lions at the entrance to the town hall, former town hall, just are forever on that place. Okay, let's snooping little bit the market. Yes, no, perfect, thank you. Look at this. We got a lot of dog friends in Kraków, and we little bit entering the market. That is the Eastern Market, Kraków. We've got the Turkish halva. Of course, halva is always like a number one of the selling. That's why there's just for instance, for the sesame, I think pistachio is just like a number one of the part, which is my favorite, for instance. But there you could rahat wukum also. Yes, Eastern Market. That's just exactly. You see, the vendors are so frozen. They even it's not like a Turkey or so. They inviting the. Dobry, witam serdecznie. There's just nice meeting. We met there last year, but it's the non-change with the beautiful pottery matters. That's why pozdrawiam serdecznie. That's why there's just the pottery is of course there's like a number one in the part. Always the tourists asking me how is there such big money for the restoration of monuments. Look at this. Even people private like over there. Oh, look at this. That's just the money box that anyone they could support Kraków and the restoration of monuments. There's a such part is just the money box on the part. Yes, thank you. That's just the halva. That's just is good inspiration. And look at this, the cloth holes in the sunshine. Now now later you could take the screenshot if you watch my film again. The cloth holes sukiennice, mercenary. At the top there's work of Santi Gucci, ghost mask, mascarone. That's just the special form. Yes, and then we getting a little bit to the soups. You got the 21 different arts of soups, like a classical. In Poland, it's not popular, very popular, but 20% Poles they eating the tomato soup. We've got the borscht as the red beet soup. I don't come closer because it's very hot. Then we've got the garlic sauce, like a Viagra soup, those of course. Yes, drogo. Yes, the 15 zlotys, you see, the 15 zlotys, the tomato soup, the vegetable mushroom soup, also just the variety of soups. Of course, is the split pea soup is interesting, 25 zloty grochówka, and żurek, of course, sour rice soup is the like a number one. But you could taste even as just the such form. Oh, you could get also the full part like a borscht in Ukrainian art, so such form. But the prices salty, just the salty prices. Okay, let's go to the corner with the souvenirs connecting of course also with oscypek, the smoked cheese, the sheep cheese smoked. That's just excellent matter. That is just bigos is also the that's just super. That's why this, I think the most favorite, or we could say, that's the form kind of the macaroni. That's just such form is like a new, but the most traditional was the such redikołka we call there. Oh, look at this. There's such form. We've got just the prices. Oh, the gazdowski I think is the most expensive. It's such a gazdowski, very nice. There's a oh, fajny gostek. You could always ask anything. As I said, the Heygo company collapsed, and now I try to put the such live streams just in the Heygo style from the YouTube. That's why that much more often I do the such spontaneous walk and talk tours in Kraków. And of course much more planned with the special topics. That is the like dry run. And I try to get the publicity and from the Heygo. Yes, Gołąbki is also, that's just a verb, okay. But I know I wanted to show the beautiful architecture. The first floor was the exchange chamber for the cloth makers. In one moment I show you the shape of the cloth horse in the model. Oh, you see there's still such Siberian style huts are important in Kraków. There we got such cold weather that is still useful such form. That's just interesting. That's the much more classical form. Okay, but one thing very special, the Krakow. Oh, big thanks, Erin, for the supporting. Look at this. Now I especially for you turning around, and you've got such masterpiece of the Leonardo da Vinci of Kraków, Mr. Matejko. He did such each capital. Look at this. There's the arches on the cloth holes. They're giving such new Art Nouveau style, but they were made in the art, we say like a neo-Renaissance style. Each capital, they've got their own ornament. Look at this. I always like turning around. Look at this. That's just such very special impression. Look at this. Big thanks for supporting. Big thanks. That's just so important. Because I've got a double collapse, I don't want to, always yawning that something is wrong. But, I've got the double case of the not only Heygo collapse, but the company that I work like a pan kanapka, the Mr. Sandwich, also collapsed. That's why double hit. But, if you are hit strong, you're getting stronger. That's why thank you of you, because Heygoers, others, I think about the Ukrainians also, Olga also, it was their life on the Heygo, and everything collapsed because the Heygo is kaput. Yes, and have a look here, and again the sunset, and from that corner I think is always the most magical moment, because for people that are first time, I tell you famous legends connecting with the Krakow. We say St. Mary Basilica is like a Notre Dame. Yes. Almost the same day, yes. Okay, so the same day. But it was we say, April Fool Eve, such thing. Okay, but let me tell me the first legend connected with St. Mary Basilica. You see the two not even towers. There were two brothers. Each of them wanted to build the higher tower. Older brother built the higher tower. They couldn't be higher and killed his brother secretly. And they got the money of Mayor of Kraków. But after a few years, he got a big pricks of conscience. He was climbing the higher tower, opening the window, and said to all Krakowians, "I am guilty of killing of my brother." Took a knife, stabbing at his stomach, and jumping on the market square. That was the bloody end. But look at this, the two different towers. Look at this. Big thanks, Leah, for the supporting, for the just expression. Look at this. You got now again for the postcard moment. Behind me is the club Loja. That is some information was just the Arnold Schwarzenegger was just such a visitor, or we say coordinator of the such house. But look at this again for the such moment of the golden hour in Kraków. It's me. You see, there's the cold, Scandinavian, air, but and weather. But people they could sitting in the such beautiful, heaters, and you could nice warm up. You could eat the beautiful cuisine as just with warm soup, drink beer, of course. As just the Żywiec is the famous brewery from Kraków. And now I give you the much more wider view on the market square. You see the stand for the dorożka, for the diligence, or we say horse-drawn houses. And then at the top you see the letter S, Sigismund the Old, the Polish king, was the powerful dynasty of Jagiellonian, had the second wife from Italy, Bona Sforza, and she came to Kraków with the famous Italian architects, Francesco Florentino and Bartolomeo Berecci, that transformed Kraków in Italian style. That is on the Santigucci also. Look at this. That is the Loggia Club, Loggia, so-called. There was the former, there's the house under Venetiana, the Phoenix Club. That's just the that was the former doctor's stayed here. That's why she's keeping the dental in the hand and Esculapa, the symbol of doctors. And look at this, each street getting out of Market Square, they finish with the tower of the church. That is the Piarist college, and it's just the monastery. And the famous Czartoryski Museum. We got a lot of topics in Krakow, 100 museums, 100 churches, over 1,200 restaurants, pubs. That's just the Krakow, the under-Tyrrhenian matters. We're walking to the pyramid, that is the underground Krakow. The former Market Square was the 5 meter lower. Every year Market Square getting 1 centimeter up. That's why after 5 centuries we're staying 5 meter higher. Look at this. That is the feeling like a king for one moment, or queen. That's getting so drożka in Kraków. Okay, all right. You see the pigeons. Also, the next legend, the people there are first time. You see the pigeons gathering because it's the cold. But why gathering here? Because here is the air conditioning and getting the warm air from the underground museum. Underground museum is of course warmer there underground. And the poor pigeons gathering together. The next legend, they told about the prince from Silesia. He didn't have money, but the good witch, they said, okay, go to the Pope. You got the permission, the insignia for as the king, and I turn your knights in pigeons. But there was the one rule: you shouldn't spend any zloty on the way. And he came to the Pope. They got the they got the permission and the insignia, but on the way in Czech Kingdom was the tavern. He drank some beer, and till today is just the miracle. His knights there as the pigeons. We are very happy that there are more tourists than pigeons, because in the time of COVID there were more pigeons than visitors. That if you do remember the Heygo tours, that was the big trouble with the tourism. Okay, and the last view on that part. Okay, let's go now to the pyramid. That is the underground museum. That they created 12 years ago. Was the big hole here, and the archaeologists digging and digging discovered thousands of artifacts. And now is just the famous museum underground. Is the skylight. You see the St. Mary Basilica mirroring on that pyramid. And that is the just underground museum, underground Kraków. If you watch my YouTube channel, you could, that is always tourists asking about that building. There's the most beautiful Art Nouveau style house na Barszczowem. The Hard Rock Cafe restored that house. That's why it's good shape. And look at this. There's something new. That was very controversial. There should be 7 such stands for the florists in Kraków. It looked like a UFO. There should be the modern shape of, yes, Barbican. On the other tour, Barbican. Yes, a few doors. Yes, Barbican another time. And have a look. That is just such new project for the florists in Kraków. There should be like a modern style cloth halls. That is the idea. Hello, Olaf. Thanks for the joining. Someone they should see my face, because they're just Heygoers should be all friends, brothers and sisters. As you know, as a YouTuber, always I gave the title for the other YouTubers, brothers and sisters. Doesn't matter. Hearts are very appreciated, because hearts is just a symbol. That's just to be friend. It's not other meanings on the YouTube. That's very important to just support each other, and the matter of course of the communication, of the visiting Kraków, very important. And have a look. Now I tell you about the secret matter of the secret saving Kraków during the Second World War, because the Kraków wasn't bombed by the Hitler or Stalin, and that is such a story about he was the one of the most expensive cafes, Noworolski. There is the samovar, and there's a little like a Russian style, but there is such a history of the telephone of the Joseph Stalin to that is just the General Koniev. He's staying in Belarus. That was the summer 1944, and he said, "Oh, just I did remember the Krakow, the beautiful cloth halls, the little Kreml, Wawel, and meeting with Lenin exactly in Hawełka restaurant or here Cafe Noworolski. And please don't bomb Krakow. Big thanks, Joanne. Big thanks. Just the keep. You're making me wings to me. Tries I should jump around Market Square because what is the matter? Stalin said, please don't bomb Krakow. If you do that, I don't. I sponsor you the 2 vodkas at my cost at the Hawełka restaurant. And real fact, is just the General Koniev saved Krakow. There was just the coming from the west side to Krakow. Red Army had the one-day shooting, but there was no destroying Krakow. Only bridges were blown up, monuments before destroyed by Germans. But it was the almost 98% building substance survived the Second World War. That's the most important, like a lucky liberation of Krakow. Look at this. Getting to the corner of the smallest church, the St. Adalbert, you see again the Krakow Pisa Tower, town hall tower of Krakow, now panoramic tower, and the cloth halls as the oldest shopping mall of Europe. The first floor was the exchange chamber for the cloth makers, and ground floor the horse stable, but also for elephants and camels and horses. That was the only one market with roof. The other markets were in the open air. There was such windy weather like now. That is such problem. That's why in the background we see the Noworolski Cafe, 1910. According to tradition, the politicians, they like drink any coffee or its famous Polish whiskey Starka. Starka is just the Polish whiskey from that time. Okay, and let's go. You see the monument of the Polish Shakespeare, Mr. Mickiewicz. On that place was the former Jewish market. And then you see the St. Mary Basilica, 2 not different towers. Just we check the time, I hope tactic that I could check the time, and we got a hey now at in 11 minutes. That's why I do this especially for you, longer live stream that you got there. And look at this, we staying in the place that was the former anti-vampire cemetery. You see the wall, that the dorożka coming from the Wawel side, from the royal residence, former royal residence. Thank you, Wendy, for the expression. And look at this. That is the other color. Why? Here is the funeral place of the left-handed witches and arsonist, for instance. That's just such special marking place. Anti-vampire cemetery. Peddlers were buried here also. Such underground museum. They're showing the skeletons of the former old Krakowians. But there was the new location of the city after Tatar invasion. The first invasion was in 1242, Genghis Khan, and then his grandchild Batu Khan attacking Krakow. But in one moment, I show you the old level of Market Square, even from outside. Exactly here, you see pump is in emergency situation. If we got the current out, we have to pump the water and drink water and there was long queue always to get the water from the such pump. Just the such pumps are in Krakow. And look at this, the old level of Market Square. Of course, is much lower. That entrance in Renaissance style. Look at this from that corner. You see much better. Oh, yes, you see that is such St. Adalbert Church, and the old level is visible. Yes, 1 centimeter per year. Always is question among the tourists: why the Market Square? How come that it's getting up? In that time, the winter was much more proper. You know, the lowest temperature in Poland was the minus 41 degrees Celsius. And then after winter, there was a lot of sludge. They put the timbers, stones, and the roads getting up. In 1 year, 1 centimeter up. After 5 centuries, we staying 5 meters higher. That is the process. And now I show you the restaurant recommended by Mission Guide, 1,000 places you should visit before die. that is the oldest restaurant even so-called in Europe. Wierzynek, Grande Grill is the close, but they're serving rabbit or breast of pigeon. But this interesting fact that on the first floor, the royal family was even invited, the king of Germany, king of Greece, Egypt. The supper lasted several days. Even dogs and horses could drink beer soaked in oats. Each guest got the silver set. That is the Wierzynek restaurant. Of course, the food that you see is very posh, very sophisticated, and prices are very special. Of course, my favorite was always porcini mushroom soup, for instance. But then you see classical steaks, or such sandwich, such hamburger that just is very special. But it's the Grande Grill part is just much more takeaway or just the fast food. But here slow food recommendation, and there's the real. We could only get the such interior. Look at this. There's the even is the permitted little. I hope there's just the, and then from that corner you could see perspective of the main market square, and soon we've got the bugle call, of course. And as I promised, I want to show you the trumpet player, like announcement of that tour was the trumpet player on that part. Yes, please ask anything about the Krakow, because there's some people that could be first time for the Heygoers especially. Please share the information about the tour, because it's the last chance that you would be informed for the future. If you share, if you subscribe the channel, please put the bell with the all information about the announcements. That is the if you put the bell again, you see the three options, and the top option is the most important, because you would be informed any time about the tour per email. For instance, on your post, you would be informed just about the tour. That's why the such especially live tours, live stream tours that are like this, sometimes it's hard to get on the YouTube. If there's the more participants, like now is the 25 and house in the house, that's mean there's and the subscriptions in Asia that are called bananas. That's why it was always YouTubers they're collecting bananas. That's why for me I got the last the joke. You got the 1,000 bananas. Just exactly that I'm staying here. I sitting here and eating bananas. That was just the famous moment. And I wish and I want to, of course, follow also the other Heygoers that starting the career on the YouTube, and I wish you the more than 1,000 bananas, of course, because it's very hard to get on YouTube. You know, yes, Wilma, there's the very hard to get on YouTube. There should be very patient public like you now, that the people they watching and want to real see and see matters from the A to Z, for the beginning to the end, because very important is the watching the films on the YouTube videos full, even with ads. That's just if somebody collecting the first 4,000 hours, the people you should watch the films full with ads from the beginning to the end. That's very important. Yes, the church was beginning restored. Of course, the church was a little bit restored. You know, the St. Mary Basilica, only the strong water with the high pressure. The secret of Krakow bricks, the clay, organic, like chickens and eggs, just from the hen eggs, and they were as strong as diamonds. That's interesting. That church is, look at this, is staying not parallel, but there is a little at the angle. The St. Mary Basilica is 1222, exactly. Big thanks, I know the big thanks, Fran. Is the older even than the Market Square. Market Square is the 1257, and is about the 30 years older, because was created before the Market Square was planned here. Look at this. the market square was the planned as the new old town. The 1,000 years old town is close Wawel. And the next live streaming, maybe even tomorrow, I try to do in close the Wawel royal residence. Hello, that's just my old friends from the YouTubers appearing at last. Very good. Please ask any questions as you the news for you, for my friends from Britain. The Heygo collapsed, and now I am coming back to the, as the old hat matters. I'm coming again to the YouTube, but with experience with Heygo, with, as you see, open public matters, questions, answers are welcomed. I always said there are no stupid questions. There's always hard to find proper answers. I always tell to my visitors in Kraków, I'm just the guide that do the almost everyday tours, everyday sightseeing tours, walking tours, Segway tours, and the most important is always the questions. That's why I don't afraid questions. I like even if the people asking even the same question 1,000 times. Okay, and have a look. Here is the such important matter. Thank you. I want to show you the knife of the brother Mort. If you heard the legend of the brothers, the knife is still hanging the same with camera supervision, as you see. And we get the little, I think is the not problem with connection. We getting to the cross of the cloth holes with the plan of the, thank you. Look at this, that is just the plan. And that is the compass, the showing the marking of the measurement of the first market square. We are exactly here in the middle. There is the cloth holes. There is the St. Mary Basilica. And the plate was put in the 750 years of the sister city Magdeburg, the Krakow Magdeburg sister city. But look at this and the view on the cloth holes. Now the souvenir market with amber. About the amber, I do the other tour connecting with amber treasure, because amber is very important. There's just the gold from the Baltic Sea. But I tell you this about the amber in the next tours. Of course, we cannot do everything at once, of course. Look at this, at the coat of arms of the cities. They were permitted for the trade in the cloth holes. That is the line, the direction to the south. The coat of arms of Łódź and Kraków coat of arms is there. You see over there. And on the other side, Warsaw. Okay, I heard the sound of the bell, and let's go to get the trumpet player, because we have to catching the trumpet player, and that would be very nice finishing of that live with the Hey Now, the live bugle call that is every hour on hour. There's the tradition of the Tatar invasion, and the god was killed by the Tatar arrow, and the Hey Now suddenly stopped. Look at this, the top window on the left, the tower with the crown, then we could get the live bugle call. Now listen to. I think you can get the Hey Now. Yes, waving to him, because it's not automat, there's the live bugle call Hey Now. The Hey Now, the bugle call player, just the fireman, is sitting there 24 hours or 12 hours, there are different shifts, but every hour, even at night, they commemorating the Tatar attack and death of the god, because the arrow from the Tatar, they hit his throat and the melody suddenly stopped. The most important event at night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., there is Hey Now is the played. Hey Now, because it's the Hungarian word for the wakey melody. Now the girls wanted to get such position, but there's still only men. They've got such noble job. The girls, they got a very hard exam. You have to run 300 steps up and play on the trumpet in the 4 cardinal points. They passed the exam with running, but not playing on trumpet. We're waiting still for the first girl that could be the trumpet player. That's why there's just such a very important thing. Look at this. The background is like a pastel color. There's just that we got such beautiful moment, and or just we got snooping one thing more, because it's even for me it's such surprise that you've got a beautiful part that I think the television also that's getting there. We could snooping the people as the paparazzi from the backstage matter, because it's the loggia, and that is just any preparing for the television, I think, as such thing. Okay. Hello Trey, big thanks for the following my profile. If you put that bell, subscribe and bell, that you would be informed about the such magic tours, but of course much more planned. As you see on my YouTube channel, there's a richness of the tours, but it's the little mixture, because you got some in Polish only. I did a lot of tours a la TikTok on the Polish. That's why I think I do now the live streams in English, especially for the public, for the Heygo, because Heygo collapsed, as I repeat 1,000 times, that the Heygo collapsed, and we gathering the people, they enjoyed the Heygo tours now on the YouTube channels. The former Heygoers, we try to, of course, regain the quality of the live streams and such live contact through the chatting, supporting each other, no problem. That's why in that moment, big thanks again, and see you tomorrow. If you follow my profile with bell at the top, you would be informed, but also on the Heygo Voyagers and the Heygoing. Now is the new group Heygoing. Always on my profile, Tom Rac, Tom RAC, you will be informed about the tours. But always, if you even click, look at this, there's a Tom Guide Krakow. If you click even just on the Google ad and the Tom Guide Krakow, then you would be informed also about my channel, and through you could find easy the channel. That's why again, big thanks, and see you again. Big thanks for the support, especially support, because you know tipping is always good for the heart, and for the guides there's the true, and of course the big support with the kind words, of course. And see you again on the other tours with Tom Guide Krakow. Big thanks again. Big thanks. You are great. Wendy does it just always. All Wendy's on the Heygo was the excellent support. Big thanks. See you again. Big thanks. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you. Big